Hi guys, it's Reagan and welcome to the start of another reading vlog. This is actually a weekend reading vlog, which I know is rare nowadays, but this weekend I'm actually so excited because I'm essentially living out my introvert fantasy. Clay is out of town, and due to that I basically have decided to not leave my house. I'm just going to relax, hang out, get both my house in order because I've been traveling a lot recently and my stuff needs to be organized, and two, just do all of my favorite things from watching anime, reading books, and just relaxing and enjoying some time by myself. It's currently Saturday afternoon, so I'm planning on vlogging today, tomorrow, and probably Monday. And really, literally, I had one thing planned for this weekend, which I did this morning, which was get brunch with my friend. I ate a delicious breakfast sandwich, and I will overlay some footage of it here. But now I am home. It's just before 2 p.m., and I'm now going to get settled in for my day of watching TV and reading books and just enjoying time with me, myself, and Matilda. So without further ado, let's go ahead and chat about the books I hope to read for this vlog. So the primary book of this vlog is The Bone Orchard, which is right here. I've actually already started it. I have not read much, about 30 pages worth, but those 30 pages left quite the impact, and I'm actually excited to talk about this book. My hope is to maybe finish this book and then from there continue to read The Hunger of the Gods. I'm not very far into this. But I want to just kind of continue to get a bit further before the end of the month. I feel the end of the month is definitely upon me and I'm feeling a little behind, so I'm trying to catch up a bit. But these are my reading plans. I'm actually about to make myself comfortable now. I'm in my little linen matching set. It's basically pajamas, but I'm also technically dressed. I have my book. I'm going to heat up a cup of coffee, proof of the coffee, and then from there I'm going to join Matilda. Can you see her in the distance? The couch. There she is. Ready and waiting for me. Hi, so I'm actually gonna sit down and watch some anime. I wanted to talk about The Bone Orchard for a bit because going into this book, I was hoping it would be weird, but even still, I don't think I was anticipating like how strange and unique the world was going to be when I picked this up. Structurally, what the synopsis of this story is, we basically follow our main character Charm, and it said in the synopsis that Charm is essentially a courtesan, a prostitute to the emperor of this land. And at the beginning of the book, she's called to his deathbed, and he tells her that one of his sons has killed him, and she must figure out one, who it is, and then two, pick who is going to succeed on his throne. So it seems kind of like a political thriller, like a murder mystery, but with a heavy political aspect to it, which that is present in this, but this book is so strange, and a large part of what I feel like this reading experience is going to be is just trying to figure out what in the world is going on, like not even from like a mystery stance, but like how does this world work? From what I've been able to glean and the 30 pages I've read, which is not much, we follow our main character Charm, who at first the name Charm isn't like so unusual, especially for a courtesan. But we enter in the orchard house and you quickly realize that there's something definitely else going on, in that there is a bunch of other individuals that surround Charm that all have different names of emotions like justice, pride, pain, shame. And all of these individuals kind of share a consciousness, like they're all attached, and they're also attached to this person called the Lady. The mystery surrounding the Lady is very unclear to me, especially only 30 pages in, but my assumption or my guess is, did she literally personify these feelings that she has into these other individuals? And it almost feels like these individuals feel like a cross between like Frankenstein, necromancy, like they're grown individuals given life, given consciousness, through like these specific substances that exist in this world. So it feels very fantasy, but like steampunky almost, fantasy science-y vibes. And then on top of that, there also appears to be some sort of magic, but also a mechanism to control the magic. Like some people are psychic, but I think when you're psychic, you kind of lose your mind. So there's something called a mind lock, which is a consciousness implementation that basically prevents you from thinking down certain thought pathways, which obviously can be used in a very controlling way. So yes, the synopsis is true. I have followed our main character Charm as she's been giving these orders, but the world and how convoluted and strange it was even more than I was expecting when I picked this book up. And I was hoping for a bizarre, like lyrical, beautiful fantasy novel, but this is definitely very original. I feel like the path I'm gonna take with this book is gonna be a windy one. And I do feel like this is definitely a story for people. Like if you like not knowing what the heck is going on and just kind of picking up small breadcrumbs along the way, not just for the story, but functionally how the world works, this is a good book for you. I feel like this is definitely not the book for everyone, but I think it might just be the book for me, if you know what I mean. So I am very intrigued, if anything, by the originality, because I've been kind of like feeling like I've been reading a lot of books that have just been okay for me. And so I'm just by the uniqueness alone, at least I'm very intrigued. So anyway, that's kind of what this book is about so far. Very weird, but I'm into it. So more reading is going to happen soon. Matilda is currently holding on to 2 toys for dear life, but the anime I've started, and one of my goals for this year was to watch more anime, better late than never is what I say, is Ranking of Kings, which is a bizarre combination of like delightful, cute, and horrifying. I am on episode 7. It's just very unique, classic fairy tale-esque vibes, but also so bizarre. But I'm very intrigued and it's super good so far, so I'm gonna watch more of this now. I just made myself go on a walk to pick up some candy. But oh my gosh, it's so hot in Texas right now. There's a breeze and it literally felt like a hairdryer was blowing into my face. It's been like 100 degrees every day for like weeks. But anyway, quick grocery haul. So first off, they were having a sale on mac and cheese, 4 for $5, a steal for Annie's. And then I got some ice cream, M&Ms, I want some popcorn and M&Ms, I was craving that, and cookie dough. Listen, sometimes when you check out the grocery store, this is what it looks like. And I have no shame, zero shame. Bye, Matilda. But I have been on my phone way too much these past, like, I don't know, 24 hours. I just can't get off of it. So I'm just going to set it here and leave it there. And I'm gonna do my own thing with it safely tucked away in the other room. So maybe I'll finally get off TikTok. Hi, so I meant to vlog it, but I did have a delicious snack of popcorn and M&Ms. I'm now gonna sit down and do some reading before I settle into the end of the night where I watch more anime and hang out with Matilda. So that's the plan. I'm gonna sit down and read now. We'll check in when I have a reading update. So I'm just under 100 pages of The Bone Orchard, and this book is dark and it's also incredibly political. And truthfully, I'm just so interested. And again, I love trying to piece what the heck is going on. And I feel like there's so many different strings of things I'm trying to put together. There's like the overall world and how it works, and then there's the actual mystery of how the emperor died, and then there is who's actually going to take power, and which strings, or who's really pulling the strings kind of thing. This book is multi-POV. It seems like our primary character is Charm, but we have shifted to some of the other emotions perspectives who work within the orchard house itself. As I mentioned, this book is very dark, not just because we're primarily set in a home of prostitution. So as you can imagine, there's a lot of things going on there, but a lot of the powerful political players are not painted in a very kind fashion. In fact, all of the emperor's sons are all unfit to rule. They're all very violent. They're all very egotistical. And in many ways, all of them are kind of unhinged in their own way. And you see that anger play out as they treat other people. The book itself is dark and very violent. I just want to call that out. The magic in this is really interesting. I think I would describe it so far, at least, to be very like alchemic. Like even the creation of these like other bodies like almost feels like a little homunculi-ish. Like I can't help but think of like Full Metal Alchemist at times. There are elixirs that extend people's lifespans, and there's other types of liquid materials that are produced that help in the production of these like other bodies. And I'm sure we're gonna run into like other things, and I'm curious about the origin of this magic. So far, it's really just been about getting situated in this world. Charm is trying to navigate this complex political situation as there is a literal power vacuum. So all the lords are trying to prop up the emperor's seat and also put someone on the throne that's best going to serve the empire, but also realistically their interests. Because truly all the princes are either incredibly incompetent or too emotionally unstable to really pull off a coup. She's also trying to understand like who else could have been involved in this political situation. And so much of Charm's skill is in her name, which is charm. So a lot of the investigation is through these sort of intimate conversations, overhearing conversations, or just trying to piece together information based off of different social situations. Very political so far, very intriguing. The writing is very captivating. This is a book I feel like I have to read slowly because I'm just trying to make sure I'm not missing anything, but I kind of enjoy that. I feel, again, that this is definitely very unique and refreshing because of that. But I think I'm gonna take a dinner break. I was gonna make mac and cheese, but I think I'm gonna treat myself to a burrito because I really love burritos, and I haven't ordered like food to the house in a long time, so I think I'm gonna treat myself to a burrito. So I'm gonna order that, watch more anime. I've also started this like YouTube series where this guy's traveling across America with 1 cent, which is very entertaining, so I might watch some more of that. But just wanted to give you guys a reading update, let you know how we're doing. Just relaxing, enjoying my night. Burrito in hand. I also got some chips and queso. And I'm about to watch some Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I don't make the rules, but it's time for some cookies. As I said, I don't make the rules. So let's fire this oven up. Ready to go in. Ooh. The oven. Impeccable. I'm back on my anime game. Hilda and I are all cozy. I'm now gonna sit down and do more reading because I need to get further in this book. I've been kind of failing on the reading portion of this reading vlog because I've been watching so much anime, which happens to the best of us. Good morning, coffee is brewing and I'm already up and dressed. The plan this morning is to do some serious reading because I just have not dedicated enough time to books. So I'm going to do some solid reading sprints. I want to surpass the 200-page mark this morning. Then I'm going to take a break and do some cleaning. I have boxes. Some of these boxes I can't really do anything about because they're holding light fixtures that we're putting up. We're waiting for more to arrive before we call the electrician. Blah, 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 boring stuff. But there's cleaning that needs to be done. And stuff I need to do specifically to get my life together. So books, then that, and then anime, and then Clay does come home later tonight, which is exciting. So anyway, good morning. It's Sunday. Let's get to it. Hi, so first reading update of the day. I am making good progress. I still haven't exactly hit my reading goal, but I'm gonna go back to reading. But I feel like I've read enough to give you my thoughts. I'm really liking this book. As I've kind of said, maybe, I feel like I have been reading like good fantasy books, but nothing that's really been so original where I've just been totally captivated. Like books I've enjoyed, but nothing that's really swept me off my feet, at least recently, since I maybe read like The Daughter of the Forest. But this book is just so engaging because the world is fascinating and is just as fascinating as the mystery itself. Like I am just obsessed with learning about the characters and how they function in this world, just as I am obsessed with the political intrigue that's happening behind the scenes. It's just so intriguing and how it's written, has so much atmosphere. This book is incredibly dark. I would honestly describe it as grimdark, but it just has more of a female lens, which you often just, one, don't really run into in fantasy, and then two, like having a majority cast of female characters or queer characters is unusual to find, at least from what I've encountered. So that is also really intriguing to have a kind of a grim, dark, brutal story told from these different points of view. And that's truly what it is. Like I would say this book is, you know, there's lots of different trigger warnings from sexual violence to just violence to all types of things. throughout the book so far, we're juggling this like inept son who's kind of been put as a puppet on the throne while they try to figure out who's actually going to take power. But there's also this conspiracy of our main character trying to create a scenario where all the brothers are actually going to fight against each other in hopes of like destabilizing the entire government. And seeing her kind of work through this behind the scenes is really fascinating. Also, just learning more about the magic. So I've kind of already mentioned there's like this alchemic vibe to it, very steampunky. But there's also this psychic ability that's pervasive. So as I mentioned, there's something called a mind lock, which can be used to control people and like kind of set certain orders in their brain, and they have to like function around this lock that's put on their mind. But they're also used to keep psychic individuals from losing their minds. So apparently in this book, when psychic individuals begin to show their powers, they become incredibly dangerous to themselves and other people around them. So they have mind locks put on their brains to control their powers, but also these mind locks are used by the government to control them on top of controlling their powers. So learning more about that dynamic has been interesting, and also just trying to unpack structurally how the magic works. Like, for example, learning about the origin of where empathy gel comes from, which is used in the experiments to produce these bone ghosts, which are our main characters' charm, pain, pride, etc. As well as the medicine that's taken by people to extend their lives into immortality. Like, there's so many different things going on, and just like trying to keep up and piecing it all together has been so fascinating. And then again, the book itself is gruesome, so I really have no anticipation in terms of like where it's going and who to even trust, which I also think is interesting. And just the shroud also of the lady, this mysterious figure, her past and her connection to these bone ghosts that are obviously very much connected to her is just very intriguing as well. I don't know. I just feel like this book is very unique and has really caught me by surprise and has caught my attention. I'm gonna continue to read, get to page 200, and then I need to start cleaning, as is my plan, but just wanted to let you know, I have been reading, I have been making progress. All right, everyone, I've officially read to page 200. Whoa. And I'm gonna take a quick break for lunch, so I'm gonna reheat some food I've already cooked. A lunch of reheated fried rice I made on Friday. If there's anything you can count on this household, it's me having leftover rice. I love rice. Hi friends, I have brought I was about to say my YouTube machine, my computer, to watch YouTube because I'm about to do some cleaning. I need to make this bed and stuff, but my real issue is I have so much laundry to put away. I have an awful habit of just having just a pile of clothes stack up. And like if I just did it every day, I wouldn't have this pile. But when it starts to get out of hand, then I just let it really snowball. So I have a pile. You're gonna see it. It's embarrassing, but maybe this will inspire you if you are also a piler like me. So I'm gonna bring everything, dump it on my bed, put it away, and then also make my bed. And other exciting news, since we have moved this plant, it has been doing so much better. We have these really limp leaves which grew in, but it wasn't getting enough light. I've pruned back a few of them. You're probably like, this plant needs more leaves. You're not wrong. But I've been doing some pruning, and we have been getting some great new growth. Like this guy, all of those. I have a new leaf coming in here. I even think I have a new leaf coming in here. And I did some more pruning this morning. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, inspire the growth. But I think now it's getting just so much more light, south-facing light, which I'm really starting to see the dividends pay off. This plant, I think the amount of hyperfixation I have on this plant is probably not healthy, but it brings me a lot of joy. I'm really excited about that new leaf. I noticed it this morning. look who joined me while I was cleaning, and I've made good progress. I only have a few more things to hang, some dry cleaning, some laundry. This feels so good. Just getting to something that you've been procrastinating on for me, it's been like a month. Like, I haven't put away these clothes since I've gotten back from Italy, and it's just been growing, and like the more it grows, the scarier it gets. So anyway, to finally get this done just feels, oh, Millie agrees. Oh, and Millie says, finish up, stop procrastinating even more. Matilda is still here, but voila, she's done. She was productive. Hello, I feel like I've earned a treat. I'm so addicted to this YouTube series. I can't stop watching it. I've watched like 17 episodes. And I don't know if he's still in Austin, but he was in Austin for a chunk. So that's been really fun to watch. But anyway, ice cream. I'm eating ice cream before dinner. Yum. All right, my YouTube watching must be stopped, and I'm going to now sit down and do some reading. My hair is kind of a disaster because I keep moving my claw clip. I'm gonna sit down, do some reading now, get a little montage for you guys, and then I think I'm gonna shower, do a face mask, and then get ready for dinner. But let's read. I've been reading. I've read another 40 pages of The Bone Orchard, making quite excellent progress. I would say I am well over the halfway point, and my goal before the end of the day is to get to page 300 and then wrap this book up and the vlog tomorrow. Book is continuing to be very interesting, incredibly grim, incredibly dark, but just slowly learning more. Particularly, I feel like we're starting to get a bit more insight on the lady and her relationship with all these other bone ghosts in the orchard house. And that concept is so wild. What's also cool about this book is that I think this conspiracy is going to be wrapped up, but just the world itself is so fascinating. I feel like I could read so many different stories that are taking place and following different people. And I'm really enjoying Sarah A. Mueller's writing. It's just super gripping. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have anything new to say because I also feel like I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to give anything away, but just like slowly inching along to what in the world is going on is great. And the intensity is starting. The book itself has been intense from the get-go, but the power struggle is just increasing in its intensity as well, and kind of seeing the different players and their desperation is really adding another layer as well. But I'm now gonna shower and I'm gonna then cook dinner. But just want to give you guys a reading update and let you know that I have made progress. All right, I am laundered and I'm starting dinner now, which I'm looking forward to. So let's give you a rundown. So I'm making one of my signature quick and easy dinners, which is like, it's first tomato sauce, but to spice it up, I'm gonna add some pesto. I also treated myself to some wild caught shrimp, which I deveined off camera to save you guys from that horror show. Clay's on his way home now, actually, so we're gonna eat together. I also have some zoodles, and of course, regular noodles. And I'm heating up some oil, so we're about to get this party started. It should be ready in honestly about 10 minutes. Beautiful. Love to see it. So what's the sauce, you ask? Well, let me tell you. Cherry tomatoes, olive oil, sugar, which is key because these cherry tomatoes are pretty acidic, salt, pepper. I also put in some fresh garlic, and chili flakes because I like it a little spicy. These are about to burst and they'll release liquid and it creates a nice little sauce. I'm about to throw the shrimp in there and the zoodles. We're almost ready to go. Camera died, so I grabbed my phone, but shrimp are cooked. They look amazing. And I just threw in the zucchini noodles. I'll let them cook down for a bit. Then I'll add the pesto and the actual noodles. go alongside. Well, this is already looking quite delicious. Without a doubt, one of the fastest but tastiest things I cook on a regular basis. I'm gonna go eat this and go watch some reality TV. Good morning. It's Monday. I am dressed. I am wearing just a little floral blouse and some overalls. Today is a big editing day for me. I also really want to continue to read and finish this book to keep my reading vlog on track and my TBR on track. So that's the plan. So let's get to it. Actually, before I sit down and do some reading, I actually owe you guys a reading update because I have passed the 300 page mark, which means I'm definitely in the home stretch of this book, and my goal is to finish it today. It's about 420 pages. I'm continuing to really like this story. It's dark, it's gripping, as I feel like I've said over and over again. Something that I'm enjoying right now where the plot is that the mystery surrounding the lady and then these other bone ghosts, Charm, Pride, Desire, all of these different ghosts that work within the orchard house, starting to get some answers as to why and what happens in different situations in regards to them. I'm trying to be very vague, as well as the lady's past, because obviously she has lived a long time, and a lot of ways it's kind of like a physical manifestation of like running away in some regards. So I think that exploration has been really interesting, and I think as a concept, I do feel like the political intrigue aspect has kind of taken a backseat. And I'm just hoping that element will continue to be as strong as the writing and the setting. I'm still liking this book. That is just a minor criticism, but I feel like it started out in the beginning to feel like so large, and I feel like the scope of that conflict has gotten a little smaller once again. But we'll just see what happens. I still have about 120 pages left, so a lot can occur, but it's really good and just wild, to be honest. So anyway, my goal again is to finish this today, keep you guys in the loop with when I do finish it. But I'm actually gonna go run to the grocery store right now, pick up our groceries for the week, and make lunch. So that's the plan post reading. Goodbye. I made a fatal vlogging error. I forgot to vlog my toast. I am watching YouTube and eating some toast. Anyway, that's all I got. It's time for coffee. And it's time, friends, to go and finish my book. I have about 30 pages left of this book, but I'm going to take a quick chili break, i.e. get some chili cooking on the stove for dinner. Chili has been cooking away, and great news, I have finished my book. Hi. It is absolutely pouring outside, so I apologize for the lighting, but I have finished The Bone Orchard. This book was, I want to say, just under 420 pages at 418. And honestly, I ended up really liking this book. I will say, if I would have known just how dark it was, and I will say trigger warning for sexual violence, general violence, just all different types of trauma, this book really explores a lot of things throughout its narrative, and it doesn't shy away from exploring people's responses and emotions surrounding these topics as well. The book was by no means perfect, but I do feel like its strengths really outshined its weaknesses. Where its strengths really lie was the characterization and just the overall concept of the book itself. This was truly a character study of Charm, but also a variety of other characters who were not just themselves, but also personifications of different types of emotions. So how they were handling different scenarios was unique to them. The story itself is structured in a very convoluted way. We're piecing together past and present, trying to understand this very unusual reality we find ourselves in. But ultimately, all of these different emotions, in many ways, a trauma response to the existence of all of these individual beings, and collectively how they are all so connected to each other. Something about this book I also really appreciated, as I would describe as a grim dark fantasy, I found the setting to be one you don't often come across, especially in such detail. This book really centered a pleasure house. All of our characters are prostitutes, and exploring not just their work, but in a lot of ways the emotional and physical trauma that also comes alongside of that. Experiences where there's consent and where there isn't consent, and also like exploring how these individuals view themselves and also how they're treated by society at large is something that's very present within this book. Charm specifically as a main character and her experiences as kind of running this house, as well as us getting a deeper understanding of her life and situations that's made her who she was. It was rather extraordinary to see that arc play out from beginning to end. And outside of the location itself, the story very much talks about things like misogyny and sexism and violence, and also watching some of our characters try to dismantle in the way that they can, using the tools that they have to dismantle these types of things. And again, just the idea and the concept of this book really underlined all of these plot points, kind of creating one of the most grim and atmospheric experiences with these bone ghosts. It was just such a successfully plotted idea. That being said, this book was not 100% perfect. I do feel like the political intrigue aspect of this book did take a bit of a back burner about halfway through. I felt like there was a lot of tension in the first half as it relates to this specific, like, who killed the emperor and like who done it, and all these different players who are trying to take power in the game. And I do feel like ultimately the reveal and the ending was a little bit rushed, but again, because I feel like the star of the show was this characterization and following our various characters from the Orchard House, that aspect not being as great as I wanted it to be is something I personally can live with. Yes, overall, I would say I really liked this book. I think it's definitely not a book for everyone. The beginning is super convoluted, but if you can stick with it and just like slowly try to grasp what in the world is going on, I think the journey is 100% worth it. And in fact, I think the strength in it itself is that journey and just trying to understand what's happening around all these characters. I liked it a lot. It was definitely a heavy read, but one that was worthwhile, and I would recommend The Bone Orchard. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog, and I will see you soon with another one soon. Bye.